This is, we are studying a new text instead of the new chapter of that previous book. So this text is known as Panchadashi name, and it has 15 chapters, 1 5. They are divided into 5 chapters each. So when we say the real self is absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. So 5 chapters are dedicated to what exactly is existence. Next 5 chapters are devoted to understanding what is consciousness, not according to science. And 5 chapters are devoted to what is bliss, means the permanent happiness. So, and master of this text says that we should follow the simple principles so that the meditation enters into day-to-day life. We already know the goal of the Eastern wisdom is awaken to the real self. You see the 15 chapters, and realize the real self. So it brings an end to the suffering, fear, insecurities, and it brings about a transformation in our life. So now the same 3 principles works. Shravan, listening, learning by listening. What is the goal of that? Listening and learning. Goal is that we should know the meaning of what is said in the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. Knowing the exact meaning of the principles is the first step, which I have been using, saying that I do not know, let me know it. So now understand, this is the subtler aspect. When listening by the mind, knowing the meaning by intellect, and storing in the chitta. Chitta is the mind stuff. So it means I keep that memory in my mind, what is said in the Eastern wisdom, what is said about these principles. That is the first step. Now see the subtle understanding of this, that we listen different songs habitually, it strikes our ears, and one day we are in a bathroom and we start singing. We become a bathroom singer. It's so natural. You see that? Can that can that state of the mind be present while understanding these principles? That is the exact meaning of Shravan. So we are doing Shravan. The first step is I do not know, let me know it. So you see that I'm expanding the meaning. So it happens subconsciously. Can it happen consciously? So to make it happen consciously, we are a seeker. So seeker keeps the mind, intellect, and memory alive during the listening. Simply listening few words is not listening, but knowing the meaning. That is the first step of the Shravan. But why it happens? We need an external preparation for the first step. That is what Patanjali says: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. That is important. What is Not required. How excellent and good the teacher is speaking is not required. We need not to appreciate. What is required? The mind, intellect, and the memory should work together. That is very important. You see that the Buddha spent 6 years in listening and learning until he became a seeker, and his last teacher was Alar Kalam. His last teacher was Alar Kalam, who said, you sit under a tree, close your eyes, and be mindful. And ultimately, he reached to that state. That is the importance of listening. Think of it. That is the importance. 6 years. So 6 years went on preparation of becoming a seeker. Second step is what we say the manan, contemplation. Contemplation. So now I know the meaning. What is said? So can the mind hold on to that meaning during the day? Let me do all my activities as it is. But can I hold that meaning in the mind? Can I perceive the meaning? So you can say that this second step, we say, I do not understand. Let me understand. It is a kind of research. You are searching again during the day. This is the meaning. I understand. What happens with the bathroom singing? It happens subconsciously. But here we are doing it consciously. Why we are doing it consciously? We put reasoning, we explain it, and we want to remove, by contemplation, we want to remove the wrong notions about who am I. So second step is very important in the life of a seeker. Why? Because in the second step, I was talking that you sit on a lazy boy chair. The company is lazy boy. That is why I said lazy boy. I did not say lazy girl company. So you are sitting and eyes are closed and you are asking, oh, what did I learn? What is that principle? Did I have the right knowledge? Did I know the meaning? So you are you are asking the mind to follow the same process as it follows subconsciously. As it follows subconsciously. As it follows subconsciously. These two steps are extremely important. So now see that in the first step, when I am a seeker, then I keep my mind, intellect, and the memory alive by initial preparation of yoga. We say asana, pranayama, pratyahar, yama, niyamasana. So that is the external preparation. I have done it. Then I am ready to be a seeker. And the second step is the contemplation. Contemplation and reflection simply means you put a reasoning. You reflect on it. How do you say the child is really intelligent? So you say 2 plus 3 is 5, and the child says, how come? So if he doesn't ask, then he is not thinking. So same way, the seeker should ask to clarify the meaning. Otherwise, we in our tradition, if you don't ask, that is better. What it means, then I know what I know. That is not the tradition of Eastern wisdom. You should be ready to ask as a seeker that how this is possible. So that in the second step, contemplation, the knowledge is digested, assimilated. It removes what it removes? It removes wrong notion. It removes, I can use the three abbreviation, acronym 3D: doubt, distraction, and delusion in the mind through the intellect. So once that doubt, distraction, and the delusion is removed, in the second step, then comes the meditation. Now there is no distraction. Now there is no doubt. The knowledge is clear. Now there is no wrong notion. That is what Patanjali says: uninterrupted flow of the mind is meditation in the third chapter. Uninterrupted flow of the mind. So we need to understand, because this text goes in a very deeper way and clarity. Now, what does it mean if I give a metaphor that uninterrupted flow of the mind? River is an uninterrupted flow of thought, an uninterrupted flow of water. Now see, reason it. Now we know that you cannot step into the same water again in the river, isn't it? So the metaphor is not equal. So there we say that now the distraction is gone, the delusion is gone, the doubt is gone, and the mind keeps returning again and again on the same object of meditation. That does not happen in the river. So river is very close example. River is also a flow of water. So simple. You cannot have a river if there is no flow. Mind is a flow of thought. Did you understand? Now there is only one object of meditation. So that is why Patanjali says uninterrupted flow of the mind on the same object again and again and again. You don't meet the same water when you step into the river, but here you meet the same object. Then what happens? The seeker, as a meditator, absorbs, or you can say merges into the object, and that reveals your real nature. Am I clear? Ashok is nodding his head. Only you have understood. so the three steps. Three steps. Now see that in the first step, the mind, intellect, and the memory are kept alive. That is why we have an external preparation of yoga. Then internal preparation begins with listening and learning. Why listening and learning from a teacher? We say it is a tradition. No, but why it is a tradition? Because to know the meaning of what is said in listening. If you don't get the meaning in what is said in listening, the second step is a failure. In the second step, what happens? Second step is a great step in the life of a seeker. Means that you are sitting on a lazy boy chair, and then your eyes are closed, and your intellect is asking, what is said? Did I understand the meaning? You contemplate, you reflect. So the greater the reflection, greater the contemplation, what happens? Your mind removes three things: distraction, delusion, doubt. Now the mind is ready. The third step, you practice meditation, so-called. It is a non-practice. Saturday's session is always a non-practice, where we do not ask the mind to do anything. Like don't fast and quick breathing and the mantra, etc., etc. We don't do. We do it on Mondays and Thursdays. That's another traditional way. So once we have understood this, now understand the world, the universe outside. This universe in which we live day to day. Pick up the meaning. Shravanam, listening. This universe is classified only into three groups by our masters. They say place, time, object. Object includes people. We have millions of people. We have millions of objects. We have millions of places. You guys and girls go on vacations to millions of places. And we have millions of time. Only three categories. Three categories. Look at, just maintain your awareness. I am stressed. What is the time? What is the place? What are the objects? And when you find the relationship of time, place, and objects, you discover, oh, it is because of these three, they came together. That is why I have a stress. And so break that three things, make them separate. You will see the stress is gone. You have to think of this meaning. I'm not teaching anything from my own. Panchadashi is one of the most beautiful texts. It explains everything logically. You put all the reasoning. If you have any question, ask any question during the time. You see, you wake up in the morning and you say it's a bad morning. Time, place, object. You are the object. You are the person. Your mind is saying. So when you contemplate and reflect, you remove the doubt. Doubt about bad morning. Contemplate. What makes today's morning is a bad morning? Do you still remember? Did the sun rise in the west? That's why it's a bad morning? No. Sun is the same. Day is the same. Does the time contain the stress? You see, when you contemplate, now you are removing the doubt and you are removing the distraction. Do you see that? Do you apply the three steps? We don't apply these three steps. It's a bad morning. The entire day becomes bad, unnecessary. Do you see that? We need to follow the three steps. So all the three, time, place, and objects, creates and offers a variety of conditions in day-to-day life. That is what the life and living is. Do you see that? Do you see clearly? You love your honey. The day is very good. Honey, don't disturb me. I'm sad. And the honey hugs you and, oh, now I feel good. Time, place, and object. Do you see that? Understanding Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Another problem of this world is that this world offers likes and dislikes. The opposites are present in the world outside. Why? Because there are millions, billions of people, billions of objects, billions of range of the time. So this universe, because it contains too much and many, and the mind by default creates likes and dislikes. So these likes and dislikes, pain and the pleasure, good and the bad, sorrow and the happiness, they belong to the world outside. And the mind reflects inside, and that is why I feel stressed. Are you getting it? 2 point. Can you give me any reason of your sorrow and pain and pleasure without these three things? Give me any reason. There is cannot be any reason. So it belongs to the world outside, not to me. How should I do it? By the three steps that we just understood. I do not know, let me know it. I do not understand, let me understand it. I know. Distraction, doubt, and the delusion is gone. I'm ready for meditation. Mind, mindfulness go together. Think of this. Do you get any stress or suffering or pain or fear without these three things? You remove all the three, where is the stress? Where is the fear? Where is the insecurity? I am single. That's why I used to give an example. I'm single, feel lonely with reference to the other people outside. So I get married. So I was single, I was happy. Now I feel I'm unhappy. I will be happy getting married. And after a few months and years, mind perceiving the same word of the three things. It has to create likes and dislikes. Can you tell me, do you like or love anything in the world that is 100%? It contains that element of likes and dislikes and opposites. So now I'm married, I'm unhappy again. So, it pertains to the world outside. And then don't let me divorce and then I will be happy. So you see that happiness, unhappiness, sorrow, and happiness pertains to these three things. At one time, I'm happy with the same person. I am unhappy with the same person at other time. Delusion is gone. I have to find out that happiness within. That is why we have the 15 chapters of this text. 5 chapters devoted to existence. What exactly is existence? That is the first quality. I'm using the word quality. It is not exactly. Huh? If I say K, teacher, counselor, it is the same thing. So same way, 5 chapters to the existence, 5 chapters to this. What is consciousness? What exactly is the consciousness? And the 5 chapters on the permanent state of the happiness. That is my essential nature. That is the real self. Now see that we are removing the distraction, doubt, and the delusion pertaining to the universe consists of 3 things. Can I change the word? We all think about it. Can I change the word? No. Am I ready to change myself? We all say that. But will I do it? Do I really do it? Am I ready to change myself? Only the seeker can change himself or herself. And the seeker is one who follows the internal yoga, 3 steps. And the seeker who had already prepared himself or herself to be a seeker by the external preparation. So now, clear, Reasoning is done and clarity is there. So I cannot change the world outside. Let me change myself. Let me change myself. Dualities, distraction, and the delusion. So when I remove that, how do I remove? There comes the role of discernment. We discussed a lot about discernment. So discernment is the wealth of the intellect. What is the wealth in it? So it filters out what is not me. That is the discernment. In Patanjali also, I think here in yoga's teachers training, nobody teaches the basics. Vivek khyati viplava hanopaya. Vivek means discernment. When the intellect settles in the discernment, that is the method. So means all the three steps are actually the method to reach to the highest state. Even the Patanjali says it in the very first chapter. So pick up these three, explain, think about the world with reference to the three steps. And with these three steps, with that clarity of understanding, we will go into meditation. Now, get ready for meditation.